We all know that 6'8" builds get lightning launch as a tier 2 badge, which means they basically get an extra max +2 to make their build even better. We also know that going a small guard at 85 overall is always your safest option. But why is nobody talking about the advantages of going 6'6"? Like the fact you're a whole 2 inches taller and still get the same 86 speed with ball rating that most small guards are going. You also get similar shooting and speed attributes as small guards, which makes you not feel ridiculously slow at 85 overall like 6'8", and most importantly, 6'6" builds are the most versatile build height in the entire game. What I mean by that is you can make your 6'6" build fit any meta whatsoever, which is super important in a time like now where there are a million question marks around gameplay. So today we're gonna cover 3 different 6'6" builds that fit every gameplay scenario. We have a build where shooting is easy on NBA 2K26, so we lowered our shooting and increased our defense and playmaking. We have a build where you can get all the best dribble moves at 85, so we lowered our ball handle and increased our shooting, finishing, and defense. And finally, we have an all-around build that can literally do it all, in case you're trying to make a 6'6" on day 1. So real quick, if you want NBA 2K26 for free, all you have to do is subscribe with notifications on and comment down below what height build you want me to showcase next. I'll be choosing the NBA 2K26 giveaway winner in tomorrow's video, so make sure anytime you see a noti, you click it super fast. Alright y'all, now for the builds. We're gonna start with the all-around 6'6" build that you can make on day 1 and have no issues no matter how the gameplay is. Basically just a do-it-all 6'6" build. And unlike my other build videos, I'm just gonna show y'all the finished build and talk about it. We're like 3 days in. I think y'all understand how the builder works. So here's the first build, 6'6", 180 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan. And I'm gonna explain why we went that exact wingspan in a second. But first, let's go over the attribute thresholds that we met. We have an 89 mid-range, which of course gives us gold set shot specialist. We have an 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical, which gives us all the pro contact dunk animations. I'm pretty sure it's like 2 or 3 packages, so you're able to get contact dunks on this build. We got our 86 speed with ball for gold lightning launch, which I absolutely love that you can get this on a 6'6", because most small guards are going 86 speed with ball after the new speed with ball change, where your speed with ball can't be higher than your speed, making going 91 speed with ball in the builder just not worth it most times, especially if you want to have an all-around build that has finishing, defense, playmaking, and shooting. You just cannot go a 91 speed with ball. So the fact that we're 6'6" and we're gonna be dribbling just as fast as like 6'2", 6'1" guards, absolutely absurd. Of course, you can't forget about the defense. We have an 85 perimeter defense and an 85 steal. Now, disclaimer, on-ball steals did seem very nerfed at Community Day, but passing lane steals were ridiculously broken. So everybody that's sacrificing their steal because you can't get plucks anymore, or they assume you can't get plucks anymore, again, the gameplay can change between Community Day and the game launching. I just think that's troll personally, because Interceptor was so strong. So for every day 1 build that I make, I'm at least gonna have gold Interceptor at the bare minimum. And then to finish off the build, we have an 86 speed, 78 agility, and a 50 strength. Now hold on, the build is not done yet, even though it's done in the builder. The reason we went a 6'10" wingspan exactly is because with cap breakers, we can make our 89 mid-range to a 92, which will give us even more gold shooting badges. And if y'all couldn't guess already, we're also going to be going playmaking specialization on this build, our first playmaking specialization, so we can get 2 free cap breakers on our ball handle to get a 92 ball handle. Not going 92 ball handle in the builder is the reason we're able to get so much speed and have such an all-around build. And now we have to talk about our max +2s. Now, people have been saying that we're gonna get 3 max +2s this year. In every single build video I've made, I've only mentioned 1, because that is what I feel like the average casual player will be able to unlock early on. It's almost guaranteed that you're gonna get 1 max +2 from just hitting level 40 in a season, which you can choose to buy, or you can just grind it out normally for free. So basically, anybody who's actually trying to play the game is gonna get a max +2 eventually. But the other max +2s are gonna take a grind. You get 1 max +2 from your specialization, and I don't even know where the other max +2 is coming from. I'm guessing that people are speculating that you get 2 max +2s in your specialization. But y'all, pro tip, your specialization is gonna take most people like 1 to 3 weeks. Me, it is my job to be a no-life, sit inside and play all day, so it's gonna take me a day or 2. But the challenge is gonna be like 1,000 assists or 1,500 lobs or something crazy like that, you know? So I'm not gonna sit here and recommend you make a build, because you could eventually have 3 max +2s and eventually have fun, especially when some of these max +2s, like the one you get in the season pass, are gonna reset when the new season comes out. I know y'all got lives, I know y'all got wives, you got jobs, you got things to do. So for our 1 max +2, we're gonna put on lightning lightning launch, giving us legend lightning launch on a 6'6" build. For our max plus 1, we're gonna put on set shot specialist, giving us Hall of Fame set shot specialist. And just in case we have grinders watching this video, for your other max plus 2 or other 2 max plus 2s whenever you do your specialization or whatever it is, you could put on handles for days for legend handles for days. You could put it on glove for Hall of Fame glove. You could put on interceptor for legend interceptor. Or if you want to be really cheesy, you could put on posterizer and get Hall of Fame posterizer. So you'd have legend lightning launch, Hall of Fame set shot, and Hall of Fame posterizer, making you an absolute offensive menace. Ton of things you could do depending on how many max plus 2s you get, but don't worry, if you're not planning on getting 3 max plus 2s and grinding your life away, the 1 max plus 2 on lightning launch and the 1 max plus 1 on set shot will have you with a great build. And unfortunately, I didn't click continue on this build, so I don't know what the build name is, but it's probably gonna be 2-way something. Alright y'all, this next variation is assuming that shooting is actually easier than we think it's gonna be. Or more accurately, shooting is gonna be hard in the beginning, people are gonna cry on Twitter, and then 2K's gonna patch it and make it to where everybody with thumbs can green every single shot. If that's the case, this is the 6'6" build we will make right after that patch hits. As you can see, we have a 92 ball handle, 86 speed with ball in the builder, which honestly costs a lot of attributes. You could go 90 ball handle and specialize in playmaking, get those 2 cap breakers to get it to 92. That'd probably be a better route, but I just wanted to show y'all visually what this would look like. And then like I said, we're only gonna go an 85 3-point because in this scenario it is super easy to green with the pure green window, which when we get our second max plus 2 we can make this Hall of Fame set shot specialist. But even without it, once again, we're assuming that shooting is easy, and I'm talking like 2K20 type of easy, where you can make like a 73 point rating and you could be green and everything. So we'll still use our first max plus 2 on lightning launch to get legend lightning launch, and with our extra attributes I decided to put it on agility. If you don't know what agility does for your player, just keep watching. In the third version I explain it, but for this version I decided I wanted to have a little bit higher agility so my defense would be better. But not going in 89 mid-range and going in 85 instead, you save a ton of attributes. So what I decided to do was raise my agility and then raise my steal by 1 so I could put 5 cap breakers into my steal eventually and get a 91 steal, which will give me Hall of Fame interceptor and gold glove. But what you can do is keep your agility at 78 and then raise your perimeter defense. You could raise your steal, you could raise even your driving dunk to a 91, specialize in finishing to get it to a 93, and then use the rest of your cap breakers on defense to make an all-around menace that could have like a 91 steal, a 93 driving dunk, and a decently high perimeter defense around 88 to 90. Again, I do not recommend making this build on day 1. This is literally just if we find out that shooting is super easy and everybody including your little brother can green at like a 70% rate. One thing I also didn't mention is that this build is 6'6", 180 pounds with a 6'11" wingspan instead of 6'10". Longer arms means better defense, means more steals, means more stops, better contest. And again, if you go 90 ball handle instead of the 92 ball handle, you can get even more defense on this build. So I just want to show y'all this just in case, just to really paint the picture in y'all's head that there are a million things you can do with 6'6" builds depending on how the gameplay is. But first, I did actually check the build name for this build, and the build name is 2-way 3-point slasher. Kind of boring, but it does perfectly encapsulate exactly what we are. Our strengths are that our shake game is deadly. I don't know what that means. I guess that's talking about our dribbling, like our playmaking. I think they meant to call shifty. We're a relentless downhill dunker. Yes, we're gonna have contact dunks. Our speed is game changing. That is insane. And we are explosive with the ball in our hand. Our weaknesses is obviously struggles to pass, and because we didn't upgrade our mid-range is non-existent. Now that we covered a less shooting version of the build, let's cover a less playmaking version. Alright y'all, version number 2, and this version is assuming that we do not need a 90 ball handle in the builder. What I mean by that is we labbed out all the best dribble moves, and we figured out that the absolute best dribble moves you need have a requirement of 85 or lower. If that's the case, we can go an 85 ball handle, keeping our 86 speed with ball for legend lightning launch, and we can use those extra attributes we saved, distribute them out, and make an even more overpowered build. As you probably already noticed, for this version we went a 92 mid-range in the builder, so we will not need to specialize in shooting or put any cap breakers, and we also increased our agility from a 78 to an 85. Now if y'all don't know, what agility does is it affects how fast you move laterally on defense. So basically your lateral quickness is tied to your agility rating. So with this build right here, we'll be able to play defense way easier. And just to cover my bases, if y'all don't know what speed does, basically your speed determines how fast you run without the ball. So on fast breaks, when you're going for lobs, when you're going for passing lane steals, that is what your speed affects. Now I did make a mistake on this build because I went too high on the agility. What I would do instead is lower the agility a little bit so you can get at least an 86 steal. And the reason for that is right now we don't have that many good places to put our cap breakers. We have driving dunk, which we're gonna get to a 93 so we can get gold posterizer and maybe maybe legend posterizer if you want to use your extra max plus 2 later on for it. We have ball handle, which we could increase to a 90 with our cap breakers if we wanted to, but again, this is assuming that all the best drip moves have 85 and lower requirements. And then we have our steal, which I would put at an 86 and then cap breaker it 5 times to a 91 eventually. At an 85 or an 86, like I said we should go, you will have gold interceptor and silver glove. At 91, you will have Hall of Fame interceptor and gold glove, meaning you don't have to waste the max plus 2 on your interceptor. You could just max plus 1 it to legend instead. And y'all, I can't understate how many attributes you get from going from a 90 ball handle to an 85. What I decided to do with it is increase my agility for lateral quickness, but you could increase your perimeter defense to a 92. You could make your steal a 91 in the builder if you wanted to. There is a lot of things you could do with those extra attributes. You could probably even raise your driving dunk to a 91 and then specialize in finishing and get a 93 driving dunk in the first couple of days. A lot of things you can do with this variation, so I wanted to show y'all so you can mess with it, but I wouldn't recommend actually making this build on day one until people test out the best drip moves in the game. The last thing I want is for y'all to make this build, realize that you can't get the best drip moves, and then try and cap breaker them over time. It just won't be worth your time. So yeah, this is more of a specialist build, assuming a very certain scenario. But anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it. 3 6'6" builds that you can make. One that's all around for day one that has less shooting and more everything else, and one that has less playmaking and more everything else. Y'all let me know what you think. Are you debating making a 6'6" build? Are you just gonna stick with the 6'8" meta, or are you gonna go small guard like me on day one to grind up your overall the safest way possible? Whatever you decide to do, just know that I will be streaming. I'll be giving y'all the best drip moves, the best jump shots, everything you need to know. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.